Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you my butter chicken recipe. So first things first, we're gonna marinate the chicken. So what I did here was already mince the garlic and grated some ginger so that you already see that in this bowl here. And then I just went ahead and cut up the chicken thighs into bite-sized pieces. So I used skinless, boneless chicken thighs here. And then I'm just gonna season this with turmeric, garam masala, chili powder, paprika, salt and pepper, and yogurt. So we're gonna add all that together and we're gonna mix it very well and we're gonna put it into the fridge. So I suggest making this marinade at least a few hours before cooking it, if not overnight. That way all the flavors can marry together and the chicken becomes so tender. So here you have it. It's all done. Let's put it in the fridge. When you're ready to start cooking your butter chicken, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to broil, because what we're going to do is take this chicken right here and we're going to put it on a tray on a single layer and just give it some color in the oven. So when we put on the broil, obviously the top is going to be really hot and it's going to give it some beautiful color. So while we are going to put the chicken in the oven, we can start the process on the stove with our pot. So here, I already got one tray done and I'm going to put in the second one here. You'll see, because I made like a double batch of butter chicken because it's great throughout the week and my family loves it. So what I'm going to do is now, either you can use some oil, you can use butter or ghee. I'm using ghee here because you can it has a higher temperature, like high heat temperature. It won't burn. Butter will kind of burn, so I would use butter and half oil if you want to use just butter. So we're gonna warm up the ghee here, and then like I said earlier, I have the ginger and the garlic already ready to go, but I did also mince up some onion. So once it's a little warm, we're gonna start by adding in we're gonna add in some cumin seeds. Cumin seeds, just toast them for about 30 seconds and then we're going to add in all of those aromatics. So this video is going to be a little bit longer because I don't want to just skim through it and just edit the whole video and show you my end result. I kind of want to give you a little bit of a step-by-step because it is a little bit of a process. Once you start making it more often, it won't be like tedious or like it won't look like a lot of steps. But when you're first time trying it, or even the first few times, it's good to see a recipe and kind of follow it. So that's what I'm doing here. There'll be a lot of pauses, but it's for like starter beginners, and I just wanted to do step-by-step video instead of just those fast 60-second, because when I sometimes look at those videos, I have to keep watching the video like 500 times to see when they added what. So that's why it's going to be a longer video. But anyways, so I'm just waiting for the onions, garlic, and ginger to cook down. This is going to take several minutes. Just babysit it. Don't walk away from it, because when it's on medium heat, it does, sometimes start to burn. So just stay around, give it a mixeroo every few minutes. And if it's a little bit like getting stuck to the bottom of the pan, just throw a little bit of water. It'll just clear all of it up. And yeah, so we're just going to continue to cook. This whole part of cooking down the onions, garlic, and ginger will probably take you about like 10 minutes. 10 to 12 minutes, around that time, depending on the heat and all of that and how much you're making. If you're cutting it in half, it'll take less time. But yeah, just when you see that it's like translucent, it's cooked down, you'll see that we're ready for the next step. So now we're going to add in all of our spices, starting off with turmeric, chili powder. There's going to be garam masala, salt and pepper, paprika. It's like basically the same ingredients I've added to marinate the chicken, but you can always alter if you don't like it to be too hot. Omit the chili powder and maybe just go with a little bit extra paprika. You can also buy something that's like called Tandoori masala, but that's basically like chili powder, maybe some paprika. It's mild, so you can use that instead of using the hot chili powder. So I would do that. If you don't want it to be spicy, go buy the tandoori powder or just use paprika. So once we add all the spice, I'm going to let it just toast up for a few seconds, and then we would add a touch of water because it will start sticking to the bottom of the pot. And then we're going to go ahead and get some not crushed tomatoes yet, tomato paste we're going to need first. So get some tomato paste out. We're going to be throwing that in just now. Add a few tablespoons of tomato paste here. I'm adding in canned crushed tomato. So I'm just alter as how much you're using. You'll see here that I'll add more eventually, but I'll try to put it in the description below the measurements of this batch that I made, but also just go by how you like it. I like it a little bit of, I don't want it to be super dry. I want some curry. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the tomato, and I'm even going to add water later on. I've looked at other people's recipes as well, and a lot of people, I don't see them using water. I did that because I wanted to dilute it a little bit. Plus, like, I want that curry feel like in my butter chicken. That's just how I like it. So here I'm adding in the chicken that we broiled earlier. So we're gonna add, I have a ton of chicken, as you can see. I'm adding all of that in there, and I'm gonna add a dash of water here and just mix that all together. So I realized once I added the chicken that I needed more of the tomato, crushed tomatoes. I almost used, I'm going to check how big that's a big can of crushed tomatoes, but I almost used all of it. So about 80% of that can for this recipe here. And I added a little bit more water. See how you see that there's some liquid in it. So once it cooks down, it'll cook down some of the liquid, but you'll still be left with some curry. So there you go. I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to put it on a medium lowish and let that cook for about 30 minutes. And just as every like 10 minutes, come back and just give it a little stir, cover it up, cook it for another 10 minutes. You'll see. So my chicken is fully cooked through at this point, and now I like the consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some whipping cream or heavy cream to it. So just see how much you want to add. You can add as much as you want or as little. I'm just kind of going for that color of butter chicken that we're used to seeing. So I add a little bit and keep adding a little bit at a time until I see it's thick, it's rich, it's good for me. You could also add a bit of butter at this point if you want it to be even more luxurious, but I'm good with the heavy cream. And then we're gonna go ahead and add some so I think that's enough for heavy cream for me. I'm gonna add some fennel leaves here. Just crush it between your hands just a little bit. I don't know, this is how much I threw in there. It gives it a really nice taste. And I'm gonna also garnish it with a little bit of fresh cilantro. You can't replicate the taste of cilantro, so add a little bit of cilantro and this is good to go. So you can serve this with rice. That you see that I served mine with rice and naan. So I made some homemade naan. This was the weekend, so I really did all of it. I did the rice and the naan with the butter chicken, a full experience for my family, and we thoroughly enjoyed everything. And we had tons of leftovers, which I've learned from the past. Don't make one tray of chicken thighs, make two, because there's no leftovers left if you just make just enough for that night. So yeah, and this is it. So I had a great time sharing this recipe with you guys. Let me know how it tasted for you guys, and any feedback that you have for me. So thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching my video today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next one.